Okay, we have Lanterns episode 2. What a step up from the first episode. I loved the first episode. I thought it was a great introduction to this world, to these characters, or reintroduction to the world, should I say. We got a history lesson on the Lanterns, etc. But I kind of came out of it sort of going, okay, that was really good. So I'm not going to do a full play-by-play. I'm going to talk about the things I like, things that I was a bit like. Um, and then I'm going to ask you guys what you think, because I'm genuinely curious. First off, what is this thing with Hollywood and waking people up with cold water to the face, right? It's rude. I feel bad who has to clean the sheets. I keep seeing it. It was in Tony recently, although that was a true story, but I don't know how true that part was specifically. And then, so Hal is trying to train John. Badly, by the way. Hal's not a good teacher. Firstly, why is he trying to teach John with only 5% battery on the ring? Silly. It's just a bad idea. Because if he had got up there, and then it was like 0 battery. There's not even any backup power in that thing. He would have just splat. But regardless, we're moving on. Also want to know what... I'm really, really intrigued to know why Hal at any point hasn't called the Guardians. As John asks him as well. And he's like, I'm not calling them. I do want to know what happened there. Because, well, I'm curious. I hate that it's week to week. I love that it is, obviously, because if they had done it in a day, it would have been like, what, 8 hours? And then I would have binged 8 hours, and then we wouldn't have had this, and no questions, but it's fine. It's what it is. Oh yeah, like it's only been a week or less than a week, and they're like, "Should we carry on playing football where 4 people were murdered?" Yes, yeah. String up the bodies. That's sent a message, really. The I did like during the meeting when Hal was they're like, she's like, I got 30 seconds left of patience, and he goes, I only need 40. And I was thinking, me too, Hal. Me too. Then I remembered what he was talking about. And then John gets sent away to go and grab the lantern, which I do like the design of the lantern. Although it's a bit crazy that it's a 5 second super fast charge. I need a charger like that for my phone. And then obviously John gets kidnapped by these guys who are hunting the Manhunters. Although if they're as powerful as Sinestro says, when they're like, which I kind of thought when he says, well, they're the second biggest threat to you right now, I assumed he was going to go, well, John, who's the first? And he would have gone, me. By the way, okay, we're going to get onto Ulrich Thompson. We are going to get there. But I asked myself the same question when John got to Hal's house. So how much do they get paid? I don't think they actually get paid, do they? I'm not too sure. If anyone's read The Lantern, I've got something like 1,000 comics behind me. There's not a single Green Lantern in there. Not for nothing. It just never came up. But check this out. How cool is this? Death of Wolverine. Look at that. That's not like one of the sexiest art covers you've ever seen in your life. Also, that's mine. It's on Amazon, Audible, Kindle. Yeah, regardless. And then Hal just casually walking into a morgue and stealing bodies. Me too, Hal. Me too. It brings a real new definition to cracking open a cold one with the boys. I was thinking about that the entire episode. And then obviously John, so he gets kidnapped, then he escapes. And I noticed this, and I think I said this in my first review, but I'm going to say it again in my second. Why does John run like that? He runs like I do in my dreams. But it's just weird because I've seen Rebel Ridge, and I need to go back and rewatch it because I don't think he ran like that in this. It's kind of like watching Ashton Hall run, where it's like full capacity, but it's the weirdest thing. Okay, so obviously John gets shot. When John goes to the diner and he bumps into that lady again, and they're like, oh, white men have the privilege. It's like, can we get off that? I'm so bored of this. In everything. In everything. It's like, oh, okay. I honestly, at this point, I just tune out. I'm so bored of it. I'm so bored of this same like sort of narrative. It's like, oh, what? Shut up. You live in a mansion. You have an army that surrounds you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just bored of it. I'm tired of it. Just this whole narrative. But let's get straight on to the end. Ulrich Thompson, Sinestro. See, I think, obviously, I do believe he has a big part of why Howe is so against the Guardians and their usage, but I just don't know what Sinestro did. Obviously, he was part of the Guardians, and then he was, big bad. But if you've seen Banshee, he played Kai Proctor, who might have been, I would say, easily top 3 TV villains of all time. Just an absolute force. And that they've covered him in baggies. That dude is shredded. He is just a relentless, unstoppable force who will go to some of the worst places. I mean, he put someone in a meat mincer, to be fair, which was just like somebody who they'd built up as like a really lovable character as well. I remember watching that for the first time and I was disgusted and hungry, and then more disgusted at the fact that I was like, oh, that makes me really want a burger. But I'm so intrigued to know what they're going to do with him here. He looks good. The makeup looks good. It doesn't look too forced. But he's such a good actor that I cannot wait to see what is going to happen here. Anyway, okay, so that's just my really quick thoughts, because obviously this episode comes out at 2 a.m. I got up at 4 to watch this. What did you think? Also, where do you think this is going? Because they're building it up in such a way that I can't see it just getting to a point of, here's the big bad, big punchy battle to finish it. But then they probably will, but there's obviously going to be more leading up to that. So I just really want to know what you think. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Let me know your thoughts, theories, everything. And I shall see you in the next one. Take care, guys.